quarterback's holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything, as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise. Purdy now to throw off the play action. Steps away. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time.
Love the play call that time. Love the design. You put 3 tight ends on the field. That screams jumbo set, running formation to a defense, right? No, they go play action, and defense gets confused for just a split second. And next thing you know, completion for good.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
A very solid gain of 27.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape.
That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A 1-yard touchdown pass. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. This taken in at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offensive move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run it again with Kamara. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Charvarius Ward there to make the stop. And out of the air, Dalton. There's Chris Olave. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Now Dalton. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone.
The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Purdy. Open man is Jerron Jennings. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 24 yards the gain there, another 1st down as well.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case,
that is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's caught inside the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there's things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this 1st half. But when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance. That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's McLeod on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Throwing here, Purdy. And it's caught. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. It's a quarterback sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Brock Purdy keeping it himself on the quarterback sneak. And the Niners have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. He's got it at the 10, and he gets in. But no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Throwing again on second down. Dalton, he gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. To throw here, Dalton. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and the deficit will hold at 22.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Rolling to his right. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. First and 10 for Dalton. And this is going to be caught along the sideline. Nicely done, but right at the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw again on second down. Dalton, pressure comes and down he goes. quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe for the run. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with a 49. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
What a way to start the second half. These guys are showing no signs of letting up. They have a chance to take a decided advantage with this possession.
Purdy to throw it on first down. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Purdy, this one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Uses the stiff arm. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the 49ers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. They'll try the sneak. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Dalton. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Now on first down, it's Purdy.
Taking a shot for Samuel. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
He's got a man, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35. Well, that's now 2 big catches on this drive for him.
You know, the NFL keeps talking about the possibility of using video for coaching on the sidelines. That's not approved yet, but you can still use pictures. They've got to send his picture down to their defense and say, you see him? Cover him.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Now Purdy. He's got Ayuk once again. And the Niners are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Purdy looking to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd. Back now here in Santa Clara.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away.
Taken in at the 3.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same...
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score a touchdown.
But not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Gold with the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From the 6.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do them? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something on the board and not get shut out.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Saints on third down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be third and a mile. Dalton now to pass. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
McLeod to return it.
35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Purdy looking to throw on first down here.
And this is caught. Jennings. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need it.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
The Saints coming out now to take the field.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
Dalton, 1st and 10.
The pass caught by Olave. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Throwing again on second down. Dalton incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Andy Dalton.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. After the sack on first down, Dalton. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the 49ers are going to take over at their own 41. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. But at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Well, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Here's Purdy. And, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end.